All right, so we got something kind of strange, a little bit weird happening over here with the GOAT app, which according to Soul Retriever, breaking global sneaker marketplace GOAT, shutting down several facilities in the UK and Asia. Sources have confirmed with Soul Retriever that GOAT Group has been reaching out to sellers to ship them back their products from the affected location. So I find this one quite interesting just due to the fact that one of GOAT's biggest competitors, StockX, we always hear these nightmare stories about StockX selling fakes, everything like that. I think they kind of got a lot of damaged reputation with the big Nike lawsuit, but when you compare them to the GOAT app, it kind of feels like GOAT maintains like a low profile, right? It kind of feels like they float under the radar, which when you talk about when these companies were first founded, it's kind of a gray area. I can't tell you exactly which company was founded first, but GOAT, they began in 2015, founded by these two nice looking dudes. Like, these dudes look real wholesome, right? I ain't gonna lie. We got my boy Eddie Liu on the left, and then the dude on the right. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even want to butcher my boy's name, but he kind of looks like one of them dudes you would see at like SneakerCon, right? Something like that, right? These look like some cool dudes. So they were the ones that started GOAT 2015. This is during a time where I feel like StockX and GOAT kind of like revolutionized sneaker reselling, just due to the fact that like before you had eBay, right, which everything was individual listings, versus StockX and GOAT, which they combined the listings all into one, right, which kind of created like this stock market price, which nowadays everybody compares when they're looking at prices and value. They refer to apps like StockX and GOAT. So it's a huge thing, right? Which kind of takes us to where we're at now here as far as like sneaker reselling and everything like that. I remember back in 2015, like the first time like using StockX, which I thought that was crazy, right? And then later I found out about the GOAT app, which what made GOAT kind of separate itself from StockX is the fact that they offered like used products as well. So you could buy, sell used stuff, while StockX was only supposed to be like dead stock, brand new. You guys remember that, right? So of course the sneaker resale business continued to expand and get bigger and bigger. StockX and GOAT, of course, they got bigger and bigger, which in 2018 GOAT gets 60 million and merges with Flight Club to create a sneaker superpower. So you guys know Flight Club, one of these big sneaker resale shops. I think this is the place where they used to do like sneaker shopping with Complex back in the day, right? So located in New York. Now with this, the big thing about this one is, of course, this is GOAT going to be expanding from just like an online marketplace to now having physical locations. And where does a company like GOAT just get 60 million from nowhere, right? Well, it actually, according to this article from GQ, that 60 million came from Index Ventures, which is a European venture capital firm, right? So basically one of these investment firms, which they're just like looking for potential places or businesses, which they feel like are going to continue to expand. And the way sneaker reselling was going, of course, you got these venture capitalists, you know, they're trying to get a little piece of the pie. They threw $60 million into GOAT, to which then GOAT, on top of acquiring Flight Club, they also bought up sneakers.com, Grailed, you guys know the Grailed app, and then Alias, which is a data-driven tool that allowed resellers to list products across all GOAT Group portfolios, which I actually had no clue about that. So I guess you learn something new every day. I guess with Alias, it's gonna have every entity under the GOAT Group all in one. So that's kind of cool, right? So 2019, GOAT's co-founder Eddie Liu said that they do plan to, you know, expand into Asia. So it's basically just the case where like GOAT, they're just getting bigger and bigger. Sneaker reselling's getting bigger and bigger. So for them to have this insight was definitely great. Timing was perfect. This is right before 2020, right? The big boom from the pandemic. Reselling was going absolutely crazy, but of course now we know here in 2025 that resale bubble is kind of bursted low key, right? You know, it's not the same as it was, say, back then, right? So on top of that, I feel like these apps like GOAT and StockX, they gotta be suffering, right? If everybody's not reselling, if the prices aren't as big as they once were, like, don't they have to be suffering as well? Like, but again, like, you know, there is still sneakers that are selling for big profit margins, but I just don't think it was the same amount, like, say, of course, back in like 2018, 2020, when GOAT just continued to expand and expand. So as far as this latest situation right here with GOAT shutting down some of these facilities in the UK and Asia, I ain't gonna lie, like, I think that when you talk about sneaker reselling as a whole, like, these reselling platforms, they gotta be effective, right? We're always seeing StockX adding on additional fees. GOAT, they've upped some of their fees throughout the years as well. So I think they're hurting low key. And when we talk about them shutting down facilities, I don't know, like it could be a little bit suspicious. Now, of course, the GOAT app, of course, they had to respond. They reached out to Soul Retriever with this like corporate ass answer talking about one of our greatest strengths as a business in our global network. And we continually seek ways to enhance and optimize how we operate. This means finding more efficient processes and ensuring our resources are where they can have the most impact for our customers. Each year, we have improved our global operations network, and this year has been no different. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna finish this because it's just a whole bunch of corporate BS. Seems like they're almost speaking like a whole different language. You know, that corporate jargon or whatever, which I ain't really buying it like that. But then again, like GOAT shutting down a couple of facilities isn't too crazy, but it's like maybe they took on a little bit too much, remember? Because they keep expanding, things get bigger. They're jumping into buying other markets. They're buying other companies, expanding into Asia. Wow, it kind of feels like sneaker reselling is going down, right? So when you talk about the comment section here, I mean, as far as my experience, I haven't really sold anything through GOAT recently. You know, I bought a few things here and there, but as far as the comment section, they're over here talking about, damn, I hope they ship back my consignments from the Netherlands facility for free. Jordan put, most of my orders are in shipment delay after being delivered to them. No payouts, no response at all, been 2 weeks. Let me know, are any of y'all having issues with like GOAT as far as like selling on the platform? Because this is my first time hearing people complain. This dude ill put, maybe they shouldn't price gouge listings. I listed something for $250, yet everyone else is seeing it for $280 plus tax and shipment. If you're gonna charge a processing fee, let everybody know. What? This dude put, the manipulation is blatant. Look at offer prices on Alias versus GOAT. Hearing a lot of orders are going to ship delay. What? I don't know. That's kind of strange because as far as the article, them shutting down a few facilities, I didn't think that was too major, but based off the comment section, I didn't know that people were having issues with like payments being delayed, shipments being delayed as far as resellers go. So let me know what's going on with the GOAT app. I just thought this was interesting just because we always hear these bad stories about StockX. Meanwhile, GOAT, they kind of like keep this squeaky clean image. So comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about it. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated on this story as we get some further developments. Stay safe, stay blessed. J.A.
Stay safe, stay blessed. Stay safe, stay blessed.
Stay safe, stay blessed. J.A.
Stay safe, stay blessed. Stay safe.